Okay, today we're going to be talking about am I or are we, is anyone too old to play Yu-Gi-Oh? So John just posted a video discussing this kind of topic, and I thought it was really interesting because, well, it's not really something that's bothered me particularly. I've never really cared too much, but in a sense, I feel like there are a lot of aspects of Yu-Gi-Oh that are obviously aimed at younger people, but I think in the public it does get like a lot of stick because it's like children's card game, literally children's card game. So
Any card game gets stigma though. Like you can
yeah,
literally say anything.
I know, but
Pokemon, even Magic the Gathering, which has a higher age demographic.
well, that's the thing.
You
I
know,
was gonna give like that as an example because yeah, Magic is a card game. However, it's like it's not a children's card game. Well, I mean, children can play it, and it's probably easier than Yu-Gi-Oh, but it doesn't have that sort of cultural kind of attachment to it of like, oh my god, I used to play that when I was 10. Like, no one does
yeah,
that.
yeah,
No one
yeah.
says that for Magic. And everyone in Magic is like literally like men, like old fucking men that play Magic. You don't see that at Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments.
Men.
Yeah, like the fucking IT analyst at, I don't know, Severco company in New Delhi, like doesn't show up to locals for fucking spiral format, does he? He goes to like drafts and shit, and then heads down to the pub with his fucking office friends.
After a sick fucking Friday night Magic. Boom.
Yeah. You're not too old to play Yu-Gi-Oh, you're just too bad to play Yu-Gi-Oh. We're okay. But yeah,
Like the thing is, I know there's a select number. I can probably account for at least one person that's 30. I know Steve Silverman's like 30 and he's still playing, but like that might be because he runs a game store too, so he's like technically like still in the loop. But
yeah.
I don't think like age doesn't really matter. I think it matters only. I think age only matters when you think it matters. That's like it, really. I think I knew a guy. I think his name's Paul Matthews or something. He he's a 40-year-old, and him and his kid used to go to locals and shit
Yeah.
all the time. Tim Cox, the guy that got second at London, he travels around with his dad, and his dad knows the rules of the game. I don't think his dad plays though, but it's just like one of those things where his dad is like actively taking an interest in his son's hobby, which I thought was pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that quite a lot of like people showing up with their
Yeah.
kids or father at local and stuff and like actively like playing together. But I think yeah, I don't like you said like age only matters if you think it matters, but like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't like it's just the fact that you don't see anyone above like kind of the student age for the vast majority of the time at a local. It's always like people in their late teens, early 20s, probably still a student, probably still in high school playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And
That's yeah. I mean, if you wanted to pick the majority, but like, I think that if anything, that sort of premise or like that assumption kind of like adds to the stigma. It's like, oh, you're 26. Like I'm 26, and it's like, oh, you're 26. Why the fuck are you still playing this game? When you play a real game or when you do real things, and it's like, I do think that I am conscious of the fact that I'm 26 and maybe should be focusing on other things, but things are all right. I don't have to. I don't think there's like a burning. It's not like a burning thought like, oh my god, I should really fucking crack on and do whatever. It's just I mean, if it was like, I think it's more like if it had like a negative effect at a certain age. If you're like 45 and you're still like living with your parents for some reason, and like you do like I don't know, I don't I don't mean like judgmental or anything, but yeah, I don't think age is a problem, really. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say on the matter. I just think that it's only a problem if you think it's a problem. The world is what you make of it.
I've never like ever looked at this game and thought, oh, why am I still playing? I'm so old. The only time I've ever thought to myself, oh, why am I still playing? It's like oh, look at this fucking meta. Why am I
I
still
will.
playing that?
Yeah, I've only ever thought about my age in like correlation to the number of tops I have, which sounds really self-indulgent and like conceited, but like it was like after Bochum when Josh got like second, Jürgen got third, and Marcello got fourth, and like they're all kids, like do you know what I mean? Like they're 22, 21, and they have like 20 tops or whatever, and I'm 26 and I have one top, and do you know what I mean? Like that's when I was like, oh fuck, I should really either get really good at this game or just stop and maybe consider doing something else or just fucking grinding out some real life shit. Who knows?
Okay, so for you, it's not a case of oh, I'm too old for this game. It's, oh, look how old I am at this game, and I don't have enough tops compared to these kids.
Yeah, I'd hate to be the guy. Yeah, I'd hate to be like really old and underaccomplished. That's like it. That's the only burning sort of problem. So, I think once I have like a decent number of tops, and I'm like, say, I'd like to have like either double-digit tops at least by the time I'm 30, and then I'd probably
Jesus
stop.
Christ, you would plan for playing for 4 more years? God.
Yep, I gotta be optimistic.
Jordan, say something.
I mean, I don't think there's much to say. Like, for reference, I'm 20. I never really thought about my age when it comes to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, outside of the whole thing at school where, like, I was trying to hide it because I didn't want anyone to find out because I was playing, as Brad said, a children's card game, because that's, like, the way everyone sees it. Like, you're playing a game that's made for kids, so what the fuck are you doing? It must be some stupid game where you just sit and you play against children all day. I think that's the consensus that people get.
I've seen you savaging 8-year-olds at locals, so don't even fucking deny that.
But that's like, I think that's like the general
Full
image.
power Necros versus some kids.
Full power Pepe against starter deck. I summon alligator sword. Oh, mate, you're fucked.
Trish that.
Pendulum summon 5. Like I watched a kid today play against Mike, and Mike was playing like True Draco, and like the kid drew to 2 cards in hand, one already being different dimension dragon, and he drew Divine Wrath against Masterpiece, 5 back row, and went, yeah! And Mike went, oh, you got something? He went, oh, it's something, and then set him past, and then Mike killed him. So it's just bullying.
Like, as much as that is like a joke, but like I think if like people who like believe this whole thing about children's card games saw the inside of a YCS, it might.
Well, that's
like,
the thing.
I don't think they realise that the majority of the player base isn't 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
Which is the whole.
I mean, mentally they're not far off 8-year-olds, but sure.
Speak for yourself.
Do you ever get like shit from your family and stuff? Because
no, I
my
just,
family are really supportive about it.
like I remember like I think I quit years ago when I was like 19. Oh, I say I quit. You mean I sold all my stuff to a friend for like 80 quid because that was like a huge amount of money to me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm done with that game now. No. And I sold all my stuff. I said to my dad, yeah, I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! And he went, finally. And or something like that. And he went, I mean, isn't it time you did something else? And I was like, yeah. And then I started playing again, like about a few months later. And then when, like 3 years ago, when I started doing it more, I think he was like just really reluctant, or what's the word? Like, oh, fuck, he wasn't like asking me like, oh, how'd you do at locals today? You know what I mean? He's just like, oh. So after Nats, the only thing he could say after I got 4th was, you didn't even make the podium. I was like, sick.
I still get asked every weekend when I come back, oh, how'd you do? Did you win?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. How'd you do, Jordan? Did you beat fucking Ryan this week again? Oh, good job. 7 whole people. Well done, Jordan.
But
dinner's ready.
But it's weird because like there's like they used to think there was like a stigma, right? Because I was in the same boat as Jordan. Like I wouldn't tell anyone, initially. I would keep it to myself. And then I just started posting about it on Facebook. You know, I was just like, fuck it. You know, this is what I do. Like, there's no point really trying to hide it. I make friends.
Don't really tell anyone.
This is what I do.
Like, I don't tell anyone at my work.
Yeah.
All.
Scrub the regionals again. Boo hoo. But but people seem like nowadays they seem insanely responsive to it. Like, so when I was playing gigs with like Heavy on the Ride and stuff, and I was like getting really amped, like, hey, I'm playing this gig. No one bats a fucking eyelid. But if I post on Facebook, hey, I'm in Italy for a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, 60 people are like, go get him! Fucking go get him! Yeah, like, good luck, and they're so responsive to it. I don't know. They seem to like relish the fact that I'm out there doing something that they think is like, you know, retro or cool, man. I remember I used to play that game. It's so fucking weird. People are like so weird.
I feel like Jordan's family gives him chocolate and cookies after locals.
Good job.
Good job, Jordan. Have a glass of milk.
Little back rub. Good job.
I think as I got older, I stopped. I never cared about like what people thought and stuff about the game, because when I was younger, I had a really big problem with like World of Warcraft being like a thing, because like if you played World of Warcraft when I was growing up, it's like, oh my god, it's so weird, you're such a nerd, like you just sit in your house and like do nothing, like you're such a loser. And it was like true to an extent, like that's all I fucking did, like when I was a kid. Just play WoW like all day every day. And then I think getting over caring what other people think about World of Warcraft made me not, like, by default, as I came into Yu-Gi-Oh, I didn't care like what anyone thought. And it's always a really good, interesting talking point. Like whenever someone says, like, oh, what do you do for fun and shit, I'm just like, oh, you know, fucking get sleeper end phase.
You playing for fun? Fucking hell.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're not playing for fun, why do we play? I mean, the prize support is
Bro, I'm playing for the massive prize support. I got 6 whole packs today, bro.
I got 4.
Locals. 3 rounds.
I played a 5-round local.
Was yours £10 entry?
No, it's 5.
I
£5.
paid a £10 entry. I got 6 packs, but I also got free entry to my regional 2 weeks from now.
Oh,
that works. That's really good. But like mine's...
Calm down, it's not really good.
Compared to mine, it is. Oh, you won 5 rounds against like shit, but like you
5
still had
rounds,
to think...
bro. I played 3 today.
Yeah, 5 rounds, and like I went to time 3 times doing all these spiral combos. Like I have to do them as well, because if I don't do them, I lose. So I'm like, fuck. I've got to spend like 20 minutes solitairing a board so that this kid just scoops when he draws for turn. And it's like time. Whoever's still playing this time is like, fuck. Okay, thank fuck it's game 2 and I'm going first. And it's just like such effort for such minimal reward. And I pulled 4 supers, and all the cunts next to me are going, woo, wow.
I had a good day, Brad. I needed a borrowed dragon for my deck, so I borrowed it for the event, and then I won free entry to my regional, and then from my 6 packs I pulled a borrowed dragon.
That's the thing. I think that, like, generally, I know this seems like almost like completely like a tangent and stuff, but I legit think that the prize support is what just makes this game childish more than anything.
Yeah, it really is.
Like if we got like real shit, we'd probably get, more.
Yeah, I mean,
older people attracted to the game. Like, what's the fucking Pokemon demographic like? I mean, I know there's lots of kids in Pokemon, but like there's still a lot of adults who play Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon has like relatively a similar demographic that does in Yu-Gi-Oh. Mid-teens to mid-20s, students, and because like they have the 3 different age brackets as well. So like, you can see it when you watch like Masters Division. I'm pretty sure it's like between like 18 and 18 up or something like that. And like also their price support is insanely stacked as well. So like it's much better than ours.
Insane.
Like ours is okay. So to get top 8
price support is the most. All right, you want a YCS, right? Here is a bit of cardboard.
Yeah.
And here is a laptop.
No, mate, it's a PS4 Pro now. Like they've upped since Rimini they've upped the price support, because it used to be like first and second get PS4. Now it's
top 8 gets a PS4 now. Well, top 8 gets a normal PS4, and then top 4 got a PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
which is an increase, but it's still not like if you think of like the top 8 of a Magic GP, they're walking away with $1,000 cash.
Yeah, but I think Magic's like, I think if I had to pick between
Magic events, to be fair, are £55 entry.
Yeah,
Magic. You go to a YCS, you're paying £55 entry.
Yeah, fuck that.
Wait, hang on. Where did you get 55 from?
That's what Jack told me.
If
That's
you go
how much it is to enter a Magic event.
Yeah, but
it's like a Grand Prix though, right?
Like a YCS equivalent in Magic. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, but do you not make your money back even if you like completely scrub out? You still get like really good like stuff from packs and shit in Magic. Do you not?
I'm not sure.
I mean, you can like not place too high, but still cash out at certain points.
Yeah, like you can get cash for like making like top 16, even though it cuts the top 8 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, cutting the top 16 isn't really realistic. Like if you think about it. I mean, it's just the same Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I mean, there's like 1,000 players plus, right?
Yeah, like Magic events cut to top 8 with thousands of players.
Aye, so like, okay, so you make top 16, right? You get some cash. I mean,
I think they even cap events though.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure you pay 55 entry. You get some entry goodies, but if you scrub, you're down money. That's just the way it is.
Aye, but you're not like crippled.
I mean, you get some stuff out of it. Obviously, it's not 55 entry and then you get 0. You don't get anything back. I'm pretty sure you get stuff back. I don't know personally, but
no, I mean neither.
They have to have such a steep entry cost because the prize support is so ridiculous.
I mean, if I had to pick
I made
between,
top 8. Here's $1,000 cash. Oh, I won, right? Okay, here's 25 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick between like one of the 3 games to play for like difficulty of the event or the game against the price support, it would be Pokemon, because Pokemon is like not a hard game to learn nor get relatively good at, and the price support is insane for what it is. Like you make top 32 of Euros, it's like 250 euros to start. You win Euros, it's 10 grand, like for Pokemon TCG. But the problem with that is that the game is so high variance that you're effectively like just winning the raffle. Like, oh, cool. I'm not saying that it still requires levels of technical play, but it's a game that's more subject to variance as opposed to something like Magic, where you are literally having to graft for 16 rounds plus. So, but
Well, anyway, yeah, more on topic. Yeah, I think TLDR probably like shouldn't care what people think.
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's like, I see people that are like 28, I see people that are like 30 that still play this game, and some people that like are 30 or like in their late 20s that are shit or like that are just getting into the game. So it's like, and it's what you get out of it as well. I mean, like if I was 26 now, if I'm my age now, or I'm like 28, yeah, and I hadn't traveled to as many events as I have, then I'd probably be a bit more like, oh, okay, maybe I'm getting a bit, I'm not doing anything in this game, or I'm not like, I can probably play something else. Because I think the other thing as well is that if you play this game and you do nothing more than like locals, you barely go to regionals, then you probably could afford to like not play it or play something else anyway. But I think age isn't a problem if you can like, if you're getting like a fair bit out of the game. If I'm traveling to YCSs and it's like almost like a shitty excuse to travel around Europe, then I'm okay with it. Like I even plan to go to America at some point, just to go to a YCS, but it means I get to go to America as well. So
I just think that like in the like earlier years and stuff when I started playing, I felt like it was. I mean, it does feel somewhat uncomfortable playing Yu-Gi-Oh when you're like, I would have been like 21, 22. And I'm like going to events with like 17, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. That's like, I feel like there's like a bit like, it's not like a generation, but it's like, it is like a sort of different era of like mentality and growing up. Then
I mean,
it does feel, feels a bit odd,
yeah.
like being around all these people who are, it's not even that young, but it just,
it is
a different sort of mindset, But,
like I'm hanging out with people like after local sometimes. And I forget that they're like, sometimes I forget that they're like 18 or sometimes like I went to Nando's with like a couple of friends and 2 of them were like 17-year-olds. And I'm like, you know, it's like fucking hell. You forget how young, you know. But it's because
we got kicked out of a Spoons in London because like we just forgot that there was like 3 17-year-olds trailing behind us.
yeah. So it's like, and the only and you forget because like you all just like player locals. You all effectively have like a grasp of this hobby that you play. But like, if anything, that's like more of, you know, it leans to more towards the argument, like in favor of the argument that age doesn't matter. Because if I can sit and have a conversation with a 17-year-old without being judged, you know, before anyone says anything like I'm being shady, then it surely is fine in a sense. I don't know, but like, yeah, it seems fine. I've never really had a problem with my age. The only thing, like I said, the only time I've had a problem with my age is when I, you know, compared it, you know, against the number of tops I have and shit like that.
I do feel it on YouTube as well. Realizing that if I'm like getting comments on YouTube and I'm involved in some kind of, not really an argument, but just like some like slight debate or something, I can't. It sometimes goes completely over my head that the person that I'm talking to, the person that's disagreeing with me or trying to argue against me, is probably like 16, 17 maybe, you know?
Yeah, probably like 13 because, you know, the age limit for a YouTube account, like, is there? I don't even think there is an age limit for a YouTube account, is there?
I
Like maybe.
I'm not sure.
But there was for like Facebook, I think it was it. But it's one of the two where there's like an age limit. But yeah, it could be like any age person because you know, it doesn't specify that. You know, you could be arguing with like, yeah, a child. You know?
Yeah, literally a child. And it's like, you know, if it was face to face in person and some wee kid came up to me and tried to tell me like something I did was like stupid or dumb or wrong, I would just look at them and be like, you don't know anything about life or the world. Like, please,
yeah,
don't lecture me on anything. And, you know, obviously, like, that doesn't mean that they have no input or anything, but it's your brain sort of looks at it from a different angle when you realize, oh, the person I'm talking to right now, they don't see things
so
how
young.
I do.
Yeah, they're so young and innocent, or they're just like literally just they have such a vague or naive grasp on how things are. Yeah, I mean, sometimes age might matter when, like, in those scenarios where I'm having to play against, like, you know, a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old. Well, hang on, like, okay, so I've got some good examples here. So there's a couple of kids that go to my local, right? One's 12 or 13, and he is like pretty mature for his age. He's like, and he's relatively good at the game. He's like playing Pendulum Magician, and he's like doing relatively well, and he's got like a good grasp of the game, right? And he's like just a nice kid, you know, and he's like 12 or 13. Then there's a 14-year-old kid that goes there. Apparently he's 14 anyway. He claims to be 14. And he is a little dipshit. He's such a fucking asshole. This kid cheats. He, like, talks shit to everyone. And, like, he, like, always, like, accuses you of cheating or, like, goes, how'd you do that? You know, it's this, like, horrible sort of way of talking to people. And, like, I was going to say that I kind of feel sometimes guilty when I sit at a table and I'm playing against someone who's, like, quite young, and I just rinse them in, like, 10 minutes playing, like, you know, like a proper full-power deck, you know, because they thought Vorse Raider was strong enough to stop full-power Necros.
Do you ever just give one of those people, like, one game for free, Brad, or do you just always 2-0 them?
I 2-0 them because it wastes time. I don't want to waste time going.
I literally don't want to waste my time playing against them.
Yeah. I want to because I want to get a drink or something, or like sit and chat with my mates, and like I don't want to waste time going to this kid like, oh yeah, your Vorse Raider's attack was so powerful. Good job. So I just want to rinse them, crack on, and then like let them stand a chance against somebody else.
I think I've played against a kid once, and it was just like, I mean, he didn't have the attention span because I was playing full power Infinity, and like, how's a kid supposed to like sit through that? They kind of just sat there and like just literally just looked around and like.
Literally done anything in that combo during, he wouldn't have complained. You could have at the end of
I
your
know.
turn says, right, now you lose. And he'd go,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, okay.
I've assembled the legendary board, and he goes, "Oh, okay."
Oh, is that the legendary board? Wow. What is it? Oh,
Yeah.
it's triple break, triple
I
barrier,
watched
mate.
Duncan FTK children before, man. It's mean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like at
I've
certain
never-
points, I feel
I
guilty
can-
for it.
I can proudly say I've never FTK'd a child,
Yeah,
but Duncan Harbison cannot. He sat
I think
and
sometimes.
looked Amazon S Archer against a child for 20 minutes.
Oh.
What a
What a fuck.
prick.
I mean,
Oh,
I've never
and
done that.
I would never give a kid a free win either, because like
Yeah.
you never know like what they have in their deck that could just like floodgate you, and they could like steal a game randomly.
Yeah,
as
you lose
shit
to
as that
random shit
sounds.
too much, dear man.
What?
Plus, they would never.
You would lose to random shit like that.
Plus, they would never shut the fuck up about it as well, because like I would.
Do you not like kids gloating? Kids gloat, Brad. That's
To be
how it
fair, I
works.
wouldn't mind that.
I
But
hate
I
I hate it when kids gloat because then they always be like condescending. If they take a game from you, oh, you won? I won, but aren't you supposed to be pro?
I mean, everyone's different, so.
Who's
Oh,
breathing like
Jordan,
really
heavy
fucking
breathing.
heavy?
What are you doing?
Am I?
Just suddenly out of nowhere
My mic was
in your butt.
Could be.
Against your face. But yeah, like so, you know, in that one instance, I would feel guilty if I play against a kid at his first local, and he's like literally super psyched to play the game, and I like do a full spiral combo and waste 20 minutes of his time and show him that Yu-Gi-Oh isn't fun. And then, but if I get paired against the cheating cunt kid, sorry, I probably shouldn't say that word, but when I get paired against the little dickhead, and he's like, I summon this card, and then just adds any card from his deck to his hand. Like he summons Overraptor, and then just picks up like a card, doesn't show you what it is, and it's like I need to see the card, and it's those sort of things. He's really shitty about it. Then I have no problem, but I think that's not like age; it's just like his overall personality. So, but yeah, like sometimes I feel bad about age when it's like that. But the thing is, like, you can't. What's it called? Well, yeah, we have the Dragon Duel actually. I was gonna say like this is why we do and don't need different age brackets, because like a lot of our better players are really young anyway. Well, they're like 20 actually.
I mean, see when you watch like Dragon Duels and stuff, like I mean, to be fair, like they're probably like better than us. Like, not even joking. But then again,
No, I
like,
remember watching the Dragon Duel finals from like American Nats last year, 2016. And it was like riddled with misplays or something like that. And I think it was the same this year. I
mean,
can't remember what it was. It was just.
not much different from a regular stream though.
I know, like some kids are really good at the game, you know, and
But like, you see, when you do watch a Dragon Duel, like even high-end Dragon Duel, you can tell some degree of immaturity in their play.
Yeah.
There is like certain plays they do sometimes can reflect that of sort of like impatient plays. Like kids aren't very patient, depending on like some set. Like you need a lot of patience to play against like, I don't know, something like hat format. I remember watching Dragon Duels, and they would do plays that I feel like weren't maybe needed a bit more time to set up, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was the same last year because the matchup was Draco Pals versus Monarchs. So the one kid's playing Monarchs and the other kid's playing Pendulum, just sits there, and like but like Pendulum was almost like the perfect deck for kids with a short attention span, because they would literally do nothing. They couldn't interact during their opponent's turn, but during their turn they're just going Pendulum Summon and just drop their hand on the table. But yeah, the other thing as well with kids or like people that have like a lower attention span or whatever is just the way that they handle their cards. So like, you know, these kids that are just like manhandling their cards and just like it's like messy as shit all over the table, and like whereas most of us who play, we like everything to be kind of like neat, efficient.
They don't
just
have
so that
finesse.
Yeah. So it's like they're just like it's a fucking mess. It's a massacre of cards across the table. Like meh. So.
Well, yeah, that's I think that summarizes everything. So pretty much like, you know, you shouldn't really care what people think. Sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh has that sort of stigma because of the anime, the fact that it is a game linked to like a literal cartoon.
Yeah, just make sure you tell people to ignore the anime in every single way.
Yeah.
You can just tell them there's good money in it. Sometimes, you know, like you know, the prize cards are still pretty good. You know, you can still like if you tell them about the buying and selling aspect of the game, they can't believe it. What? 50 quid for that one piece of card? Yeah, and I just sold 6 of them. I made more in this. I made more this week than you did,
Bitch.
and it's like, yeah, bitch. So like, you know, people. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh as it is with everything. People are gonna judge what they don't understand, and it's just unless it's My Little Pony, then you're just fucking weird. If you're carrying, I'm sorry, if you're like,
That's
if you
so
are,
biased, Brad. You're like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic Sword.
no, but if
MLP,
you're,
no.
but I'm sorry, but if you're in your mid-20s, right, and you're carrying around a My Little Pony plushie with its head sticking out of your bag so it can see, that's fucking retarded.
Yeah, I came in a good spot of the conversation, I guess.
Yeah.
Yo, Moons,
Right,
you're your fucking Magic expert. Tell us about like age in Magic and how it's different from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Last time I went to locals, there was 5 different people who were over the age of 37. So there's that.
5. How many people?
About 16 to 20.
A boot.
Yeah.
Anybody below the age of 20 or 21?
The youngest player was 20.
Wow.
Okay.
And he could just because our locals is at a university, so it's a college student playing.
And that's another thing, the social aspect. That makes me want to play Magic more because like I'm 25, so
Okay,
I literally.
Since I quit Yu-Gi-Oh to play Magic, I've never wanted to play cards so often in my entire life. Like it's the most fun I've ever had.
Ooh. I did enjoy the change of pace. I was saying this last night. I played the Final Fantasy TCG recently, and like I knew the rules beforehand, but like I played like 2 games. It was slow and a bit grindy. It was way more fun because it was just simply more interactive. And like I've been told by my friends, my friend is going to Magic Worlds for Wales, and he keeps saying to me, "I just need to come." Like he's like, "Mate, come over to Magic. It's such a better game," and it probably is, you know. But to just jump ship would be impossible because like you're so rooted. I'm so rooted in this game, and I have like too many friends now at this point.
See what I did? Like I was actually your TO, like the tournament organizer for our locals, and I just like one day I just decided after locals I literally jumped on face to face and traded in every single card I owned for like Magic decks. Like I got like thousands of dollars in store credit, and I just dropped everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just it's way more fun. It's
Bye,
crazy.
everyone. all your friends are like, "Oh, you still playing Yu-Gi-Oh, huh?"
See, I
Yep.
converted some people over because like
Why not?
there was no competition anymore.
Yeah. When I like play Yu-Gi-Oh, like you know, sometimes you kind of talk to your opponent for a bit or whatever, and the people you socialize around, like. Yeah, I mean, I'm still a student, so I still have a bit in common with them and stuff, but I feel like I'd have more in common with people at a Magic local. Whereas in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like, oh, well, what do you do? Oh, you're in school still? Oh, okay. What's your favorite, like, toy? Right? Sweet.
Bro,
Oh,
you're
and there's
still in
one
school.
thing I think
Yeah.
Farfa would really like about Magic is that you can go to like a Magic like big event and you can play like a $200 like tier 3 deck and you can win the whole tournament. Like you don't have to play like a $1,600 tier 1 deck to win. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh where like if you're not playing one of the 2 decks so you can't win. You can play one of any like 50 to 60 decks and still win a major. Like it's so much diversity. It's so refreshing.
Yeah, and like it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh where, you know, diversity means like, oh, you can just auto lose some matchups. Like you can still outplay.
Diversity, but diversity in Yu-Gi-Oh is like sometimes it's just really bad because you have like some auto wins. You might have good matchups or just matchups that you are on par with, but you could have a very large amount of auto losses, and
Yeah.
or like you can't prepare for everything. So like, but I don't know how it's how it's different in Magic because Magic also has a similar premise of like main deck, sideboard, and shit like that. I don't know how you can account for lots of things, you know.
Well,
And
anyway,
one thing that sucks about Yu-Gi-Oh is that like your diversity in Yu-Gi-Oh comes down to like, wow, this guy's deck is so unique. He runs 3 tech cards. Like that shouldn't be like shunned, in my opinion. Like
Anyway, we're going
First
on a
season,
bit of
3
a
cards.
tangent with the Magic versus Yu-Gi-Oh thing, but this is, yeah, we talked a little bit about age and shit, so that's kind of where we're going to wrap it up for this part of video. So we're going to go back to streaming. Thanks, guys, for watching, and see you next time.